Behind you. All right, 15 minutes before the top of the hour, the White House says the president's State of the Union address will be optimistic and not include his recent rhetoric about income inequality.
A dangerous and growing inequality and lack of upward mobility. Inequality has increased. Increasing inequality is most pronounced in our country. More income inequality, increased inequality, and decreasing mobility when there's greater inequality.
All right, so what else won't you be hearing from the president tonight? Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson Jr.
Morning, Brian.
Speech guy and speech writing in your background as well. What should we be hearing? What won't we be hearing?
Optimism is an attitude, not a plan, and you will not be hearing certain things that other Americans understand about where our economy really is. Let's look at the current debt. It's $17.2 trillion. 38% of that accumulated during the Obama administration. Look at national unemployment, 6.7, Brian. Now, what's the real rate? The rate of the missing, those who said, I'm giving up on trying to find work, 10.2%. And who are the people that have given up on the job hunt? About half of them are between 25 and 54. So it's kind of a staggering array of statistics that the president will not be talking about tonight. Let's talk about young Americans, students drowning in debt. There's been a 44% increase in the average student debt since 2007. 40 million Americans are in such debt. Do you know how much the federal government took in last year? In profit, in terms of student loans on the backs of our students, about $42 billion.
Because they chose to do that. They chose to take over the student loan end of it. They did. And Senator Gillibrand, Democrat, is pushing the President of the United States to do some type of forgiveness on student debt. I guess America's got to take the loss, but he wants him to address it.
It's a huge, huge problem, and it's crippling a lot of students in our country. What's also beginning to cripple Americans, and they didn't realize it at the beginning, are the real costs of Obamacare. There are 20 new or higher taxes on families and small businesses. And by one calculation, that's about $400 billion in tax hikes over the next 10 years. According to the Manhattan Institute, the average state is seeing about a 41% spike in premiums, and we all know about the cancellations. Almost 6.3 million people have had their insurance canceled.
And food stamps as well. Records up, record 20% up in 2013. But you know what
people get upset about the food stamp number, but there are more and more people that don't have food in this country because there aren't jobs, and people are chronically unemployed. The president will focus on those who have the most as a distraction for an inability to change the way this economy works in this country in a way that benefits average Americans, middle-class Americans, lower middle-class Americans. So blame the rich. Blame the upper middle class.
By the way, Senator Schumer, of all people, said, I find that most people don't care about the person next to him, more or less. They're focused on them.
I heard you
He's
talking
100%
about
right.
that. Americans are looking for answers that will affect them, not what the other guy or other gal has. Right. That's a wonderful political ploy, but is it an effective tool to improve the lives of Americans? I don't think it is. There's a lot of statistics you will not be hearing from the president tonight. We've talked about some of those here. He should be focusing on those and solutions for those issues. We're going to see a lot of executive orders, and the president is basically announcing, I intend to violate the United States Constitution more than any other president in our history in 2014. That's going to be my solution.
I don't think that'll be in the prompter, though.
Not going to be in the prompter. That's the reality.
But that's me reading between the lines.
That's the reality.
Right. I know we're not supposed to care about other people, but I am very jealous of both Steve and Elizabeth. I just want to say that. Well, I know we should be focused on ourselves.
Well, they're good looking.
Yeah,
and they're
nice.
smart. And they're lovely, and you're all those things too, Brian.
Well, thank you very much. Peter, thank you so much. Thanks. Welcome to the living room. Sadly, I have to go.
We have to stay here.
Okay, good.